The forest behind my grandparents' house isn't just a forest. I spent every summer at my grandparents' house when I was a kid. It was out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by thick woods, and they always told me to stay away from the forest behind the house. They said it was too dangerous, but I never really understood why. The woods were always just there, like any other forest. When I was 16, I decided to explore it. I figured I was old enough, and after years of curiosity, I couldn't resist. I sneaked out one evening with a flashlight, my heart pounding with excitement. The moment I stepped into the woods, I noticed how eerily quiet it was. No chirping birds, no rustling leaves, just a dead silence that made my skin crawl. But I pushed on, thinking I was just imagining things. I walked deeper into the trees, and soon I stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center of the clearing was a stone structure, almost like an altar. It looked ancient, covered in moss and vine. My curiosity got the best of me, and I stepped closer to examine it. That's when I heard it. A low, guttural growl came from the shadows, followed by what sounded like a low whisper. It was hard to make out, but I swear I heard my name. I froze in place, heart racing, and then I saw it, a pair of eyes, glowing faintly from behind the altar. I turned and ran, not looking back. I didn't stop until I was safely back at the house, gasping for air. My grandparents were waiting for me at the door, their faces pale and serious. "Did you go into the woods?" my grandfather asked quietly. I nodded, and without a word, he grabbed my arm and pulled me inside. He explained that the forest was ancient, older than the house itself. He said my parents had warned him never to let me venture into it because it wasn't just a forest, it was alive. He said that when the moon was right, you could hear the forest calling, whispering names, and if you listened too long, you'd find your way lost, trapped in the woods forever. That night, I heard the whispers again. But this time, they weren't outside. They were in my room,